Hello everyone, my name is Azatru, how are you, and welcome to another Star Wars Battlefront 2 video of mine, and in this video we are going to be exploring the city of Theed. So this is an exploration episode on Naboo, and I will not be showcasing the Heroes vs Villains map of Naboo in this video. That will be in a future video if you guys want it, but we are going to be taking a detailed look at this fantastic map. But before we explore Theed, be sure to check the top right hand corner of this video to vote in a poll to see what planet or map you want to see explored in the next episode of this series. Now let's start exploring Theed. So this map probably has the most detail out of any map, I think personally. It just has a lot of buildings, it has a lot of structure, and there's a lot of little details that really make this map just look incredible and just like it's straight out of one of the films. So in these gunships that start in the clone cinematic of this map for Galactic Assault, there is no pilot inside the LA-80s, so that's interesting, I suppose. I mean, I was hoping there'd be a clone in there, but nope, there is no one in there. We also have some clones in some funny positions as they exit the LA-80s. These are all AI and will disappear fairly quickly. Now, if we take a look at these civilians, this is something that we've known for months now since the beta and alpha, that the female faces of these AI are simply Rey's head, and the males simply just have a standard face. They just have different hair and skin colours. Now inside this MTT that is trying to take out the front of the palace, there is literally nothing inside it, but it's very well detailed and it's one of my favourite looking Clone Wars designs. Now inside these huge arches there is nothing, I just thought I'd explore them. Again, the architecture of this map is phenomenal. And we have some birds that fly around, and if you remember playing the beta, they would get all in the way. But we also have some multicoloured birds, which you don't really see, to be honest, because there isn't that many on the map, but nevertheless they look beautiful. And on the river we have some lily pads along with some ducks, which I've taken pictures of using the cinematic tools before, when the beta came out actually. And the river itself is really shallow, but we're going to be taking a look at some more birds which are very low poly and they're very high up in the sky. You really can't look at any details, there's literally nothing for them. Now inside this droid troop transport, which is conveniently not lined up correctly on the street, it's inside on top of a house and whatnot, but it's pretty much just like the one from Kashyyyk. There is some sort of detailed inside right at the bottom, but there is nothing else. And every single one on the map I've checked is exactly the same. It has a detailed bottom, but everything else stays the same, so it's exactly the same model. On these boats, which are pretty small, there is basically no room for anyone to be on there. There's literally nothing inside it. Now, in pretty much all of the buildings on this map, close to the map or outside, there is nothing inside them. They're pretty much just like paper houses and there's nothing to be explored. I've gone through pretty much every single house or building and there is basically nothing in there. They're very pretty from a distance and of course they are low poly and low res close up, but they do the trick perfectly. Now under the map there is a droid troop transport for some reason. I'm not 100% sure, and when the cinematic does end, it does despawn. So it's possible that this is a spawn point for the troop transports overhead, but it's kind of weird. But it is under the map, just like the X-Wings that we saw on the Starkiller base video. And if you did miss that, go check that out. It's on my channel. So now let's take a look past the waterfall, and we find more buildings which are beautiful from far away. The water just keeps on running very far away as well. It's a very beautiful map. And then let's take a look at this section, which is a bit like an airport. It's got some landing pads and whatnot. It's very low res and low poly, but it is far away and you can barely ever see it unless you're flying around in a starfighter. Now, a lot of people thought this would have been a smaller map before the game came out, and personally I thought this was going to be like some sort of blast map or something, but no, it's purely just part of the bigger map, and it's just really low res. I mean, it would make a great blast map. It's quite symmetrical, and it would be awesome to see something like it, but we probably will not. So let's go really far away from the City of Feed and explore its surroundings that are on the edge of this map. So we've got very basic geometry here, and there's literally no detail on it, whereas we can see lots of trees closer to Feed. Now, this is something that I found quite interesting, which I'm not sure if you will find interesting, but it appears that these markings on the ground are just drawings of a place I will show you later on. So this could have been some sort of drawing plan for part of the map, or it's just there as a use for detail to create some texture to that land. I'm not 100% sure, but you know, we can't see it from this far out when we're playing. It's just sort of there. But nevertheless, I found it interesting, and I'm pretty sure it is part of a building segment that you'll see in just a few moments. So this is the area I was talking about, because these buildings look just like the ones that are on the ground in terms of its formation. And then we also have some droids. As the cinematic progresses, the LA-80s disappear, and unfortunately, because I'm using the Galactic Assault mod, you will not see the droids from the opening cinematic, but we see the civilians still running away. They are trying to evacuate the city, and they just run around crazily. And here are the N1 starfighters with no pilot inside. I expected that to happen, and we got it. None of the starfighters have a pilot inside, just like the LA-80s, which are now flying away. The civilians are still running around. trying to find an escape, but they're just gonna have to keep running. Now, I thought this troop transport was sort of turning to its side, but no, it was just turning around. I did check. And look at these ducks moving away. And look at those ducks swimming. Now, inside the buildings of the parts of the city we can play, there is literally nothing inside them. And the palace is huge, so most of it is just empty space. There is nothing inside it, except for the main throne room areas. Now, the map is not currently properly loaded inside the palace because the MTT has not gotten close, but now it has and fires at the front of the palace. It does load.
Are you stopping that MTT now?
So inside the palace we can see the intricacy of this level design. You know, there is a lot of props, there's a lot of different things that have gone into creating these rooms, and the artwork is just phenomenal. Like I said, it's the most detailed map in my opinion. So that is it for this exploration of Naboo. I will be back with another exploration video early next week. Be sure to vote what planet or map you want to see next. And if you enjoyed this video, make sure to drop a like and comment below what part of the map you found the most interesting in this video. And check out any of the 2 previous videos on the screen if you did miss them, and I shall see you all in my next Star Wars Battlefront 2 video. Goodbye.